I'm sorry that was I got a phone call and that kind of broke the train of thought there. But my last video, this is part 3, part 4. What is it? So now I got a court case that I got to deal with. That I'm faced with what they consider felony charges, I believe. Still, I think they are. And it's all regarding a plant. The contents of a plant that's brought down to a powdered form through a process that I happen to use as part of what I believe is my way to communicate with my home star system. It allows me to channel this information and what was my purpose and what many Arcturian souls and many Palladian souls and many other whatever out there. I don't know them all right now, not in this human form, but there's a lot of them out there. We're meant to come down and try to do it across this globe, and connecting. We then create the change that you desperately need when you're in a race to be able to survive what is about to come. So I'm faced with this court case now, and so it's those are my 2 defense reports. I did not give them permission to search my car. Their probable cause, I believe, was so I don't understand. So if there's a spoon on the floor, and because some people that use heroin or something else, or making the rock form of cocaine, they use a spoon. Because you have some baking soda that you might use to brush your teeth with, because you have a baking soda in the car, that's a problem for me. Or because I got it right. Well, the first time it was an illegal search. The second time it was an illegal search. That's my excuse. And number 2, then what you're making illegal, then I want immunity from, because it is part of my religion. You think my religion is fake? I don't know what to say. I think your religion is fake. I think that book that you put your hand on is completely false and fake, and has nothing to do with God. But men deciding to control human beings by their fear of death. That is my opinion, and I have a right to my opinion, Judge, Your Honor, and you have a right to yours. So let's go to court. Let's go to and let's have a jury, and I will talk to the jury, and I will speak to them, and I tell them what is going on, and maybe they will understand, because your stupid laws and your stupid police officers don't. That will be my defense, and that will be hopefully my salvation from. Let's see, what are they going to charge? The judge said I can face up to 6 months in prison, probation, my driver's license revoked. Why? If I wasn't doing anything in the car, I just happened to be in the car. I mean, you have people riding around with bottles of alcohol in the car, and as long as you don't see them drinking, and if they don't test positive for the alcohol, then you let them go. And yet, you take somebody that has something that is maybe used for something, and then you take that as an excuse to search the entire car? When I didn't do anything wrong at all, other than avoid hitting another deer, and swerving from a police officer that was in the grass with the lights bright on, that was a little, I would swerve around him a little bit, and there was nobody on the side, just to because I thought he was sticking out a little bit too much. I thought he was. I should have videotaped him, and I should have shown him. Look at how far he was sticking out. So that's what I'm faced with now. I know the court case is going to be all the way up until, I don't know, May, maybe even June. And if I get a public defendant, and unless I talk to the district attorney, and he dismisses all the charges because that he believes my side of it. That those two explanations that I give him. If he does not, then I'm going to fight it, and I might have to serve 6 months in jail. Now, hopefully in front of a jury, which are more, hopefully they're more like open-minded and compassionate, to understand what I'm saying, and say, look, if there's churches out there that are allowed to do ayahuasca, there's churches that are allowed to do other things, mushrooms, and because they're churches, and what they consider a religion, then they're okay. Then I will exclude it, and I want to be excluded then for the same reason. You never heard about the Turin race and how they use this? I mean, the Turin religion and how they use this for. Well, I'm sorry you never heard of it. If you happen to be in a tribal culture in I don't know, wherever there's a tribal culture left in this world, in Bora Bora or something, man, they have no idea what your Christianity is, and they within their tribe, you have no prudence, and your religion has no prudence and belief in their tribe. That goes for any tribal culture that was still alive before you slaughtered them, sir. They had no idea what your Christ is, and you're hanging someone by the cross and bleeding them to death, and then drinking their blood and eating their flesh. Exactly what that is, right? And they give no importance to it. So, but that's over there. We're supposed to be open-minded here, right? In this country, the freedom country, the country of freedom. America, the fucking great. So if you want to keep continuing that, then you give me my religious right to practice my religion and practice my ability to communicate with my God and my angels. Because if you don't believe that I'm doing that using this substance, then you have to disavow every culture that's ever used this in the past, and still use it under a ceremonial way. I use it for ceremony. I don't go to clubs. I do this, and I do tribal dancing in different places because it allows me to connect to that essence of what I was, we believe in reincarnation, so I was there. And the guy just came back down here. So I know you believe in heaven and hell with the book thing, but this is my belief though. So you have to respect my belief, sir. So that was me by my defense. And once again, I'm faced with a court case that I don't want to be in, and have to battle a fight that I don't want to have to fight, and deal with judges and lawyers and all this crap that this plastic world that they build around themselves to impose laws on human beings that they haven't reviewed in a very long time. A lot of them are outdated and very very harmful to the human soul and its own ascension. And what your creator God, in God we trust, to put the book. Yeah, well, that creator God, right? You're blocked from communicating. So, but if you're able to communicate, you'd hear him say the same thing. How dare you put my children? That I put plant medicine there for them to use. How dare you put them in cages because of what you've decided is a law that discriminates and persecutes human beings for their beliefs. That's going to be my my fighting defense. My life continues. I mean, it's it's a fucking roller coaster ride. And it's just a lot of wasted time. In my part, not what I'm doing here, what you pull me into as society, and what you're doing in general is a lot of wasted time. And you all don't got much time left. For me, it's whatever. If I got to be spend 6 months in jail as I'm watching everything happen around me, maybe that's the way for God to protect me from this, Yeah. What's about to happen? Definitely limit me doing this anymore, right? And if I limit me doing this, is gonna be what? Sealing your fate as a human race. It's a thing that either God or those demigods up there, or those angels and allies and spirits, they wouldn't want to see again happen. But the way it's going now, there's no way the universe is going to let you continue doing what you're doing. It's going to stop you before it affects the living organism that you were blessed to be living on. It will stop you. Everything around you will just pull you into pieces and get you out of the situation, because you've done a lot of damage to not just the the planet that you're on, and the environment, the universe that you're a part of. But you've also done a lot of damage to the evolutionary process of this program and how it was supposed to turn out. And it's always damaged for the same reason. That virus, that coin, imagine the coin is a virus in a computer system, right? Coin is a virus, and that virus has infected the entire computer system to the point where it's just the coins and money is just all over the computer system where it can't no longer function anymore, and it will just eventually just kill it off, right? That's what viruses do. So that's why I compare your civilization to the applications and the groupware that I used to build. As a program. So, once again, and 11 minutes to it. Good luck, and wish me well on my on my battle against the persecution of human beings that choose to use plant medicine. It's all plant medicine. You can't tell us which plants like we can use and we can't use. And eventually this one this one they did some scientific research on, and mushrooms, they find that they really help depression and PTSD. So we'll let this one go now. You see, that's the thing. Instead of researching a long time ago what they'd always been used for, and you just look at what's happening right now. And what's happening right now is because of the criminal element, not because of it. So if you make that illegal, that just makes the criminal element more what? Powerful in distributing underground, and then distributing without any kind of sense of caring. It just becomes something that they want to make money on, because money is the problem. The monetary system and greed used and what you can profit from these plant medicines. That's what the problem is. Not the plant itself. Not the people distributing it. And it depends. Well, it's a criminal element distributing it. It's always going to be. It's always going to be an issue with it. But if it's just distributed by other human beings, that's what they choose to do for 4 hours a day. Hey, to be working in that same shared community. As a shaman, I different cultures. I did create, go out into the jungle and actually feel in the forest and feel what I need to feel, and then communicate with this person, and then pick the. But then eventually that became, as the tribe grew, and it became more of a large community like the Mayan, a civilization like the Mayan and the Aztec and the Incan and the Zulu and the Maori and the Aboriginal and the Asian ones, all of them. As they grew, right, then the shaman then became multiple healers, and then had assistants that would do the picking, and so it became a thing that but that was again 3-4 hours a day had to work. There was no monetary system. There was no payment to the shaman. There was no payment to they were doing it because it was their it was their purpose within that tribe and within that civilization. And then it became easier to. I mean, when I just had to do it myself, it was like, oof, I got to get all these. How many people? That's the evolutionary process. Not going from that to slicing people up and cutting things out and then charging them so much for. It's ridiculous, actually. Ridiculous. So, again, wish you a fun.